Hey, sorry it's very dark behind me, but I think it's time of the year when I have to start working with the lamps again. This week I have very playful activity for you. I do believe playfulness is a big part of art, big part of creative process, and it's really good for your soul and well-being. So I'll show you how to create this fellow with watercolor pencils, but you can use just normal pencils or crayons, whatever you have. There's another one I did a while ago and it's similar technique. There's more about approach to it than the technique. It's more about being able to see things and having courage to play with the shapes and come up with some ideas that maybe are less conventional. So have fun, and I'm really looking forward to see your creatures, what they like. Maybe you'll be surprised by yourself. Take care. Bye bye. Here I'm starting. I just need the you need the watercolor paper or normal paper. I'm using actually drawing paper, but it's a bit thicker because we are going to use watercolor pencils for this activity. Now if you don't have watercolor pencils, please do not worry, use your normal pencils, then you just won't be working with water or even crayons. It's just about having something that gives you color. So the first phase is to do drawing of a creature completely from your imagination with watercolor pencils, and the second part will be working with wet brush and merging some colors and giving it background, and then coming back with dry watercolor pencils on top. So let me just start. Just looking at the colors, I'm gonna go with this one. How to start: close your eyes, make few lines. So I'm just doing that now. Yeah, that's my beginning. And what you're looking at is just some shapes and seeing if you can see something that would give you start for creation of the creature. I'm seeing this one here, for example, like head with a body. It could be something like ears, big ears, and definitely like a doggy face with a body. So I think I'm gonna go with those two. So what you do with your watercolor pencil, you just add the elements to make this drawing more visible. It's really up to how far you want to go with it. You want to give any patterns, you know. This is your as the creator part. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pull out this doggy and then switch the camera off, maybe carry on with this one and doggy more, and then come back when it's kind of completed so I can move to the stage with water. Now with watercolor pencils you can overlap them, blend them, and when you apply water that will create new colors, so experiment with that as well. I'm going with my yellow on top of orange, yellow on top of magenta or pink, and I know that will create some kind of orange. So experiment with that and give your creature different patterns, different colors, you know. Doesn't have to look specific way. You can do drawing with your pencils, like watercolor pencils, like normal pencils. So here I have this natural, almost natural division of its head. That would be like a nose. And then here I can have an eye. Sometimes I apply just lots of color to give it background, because you need to remember there will be water applied on top of that. And I just carry on, you know, working in sections with this creature, and that's my dry stage. So I'm going to carry on with this one, adding features like an eye, nose, adding some more background color to the body, you know, just building up on it. That's my dry stage, and I'm gonna come back to that when I have more, so you can see how water is reacting with watercolor pencils and what I do next. I build up my creature, and you can see with pencils sometimes I would apply a few colors. They will mix when I get watercolor pencils activated with water. So what I'm doing now, going with my wet brush and start going over those colors. So we'll see what happens, how lovely they blend. That's our stage number 2. And start with lighter colors, because your brush is going to pick up colors very quickly. So when it's dark, you'll need to really properly clean it. So here is where I had magenta and yellow. You can see creates like a brownish oranges color. Okay, sometimes I won't blend it fully, like those red circles, I'm gonna leave like that. When you switch between colors, try to rinse your brush so it doesn't get the muddy colors, especially when you switch between cold and warm colors. Okay, now so I'm thinking about adding hair tail, but that's later. Sometimes I can go in one color into another, like here. I think that's quite good. Let's get his nose now. Nose and so now it's kind of more like a paint. Okay, the next kind of wet stage is making sure your brush is clean, and I'm going to pull some color. So it's easy now because it's still wet. I'm going to pull some color into the background. That creates like this cloud. Okay, and my last touch is just the brown eye area. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry and show you the next, which is stage, which is coming back to the dry. Okay, so now this is dry, so I'm going back, and it's about with still watercolor pencils. You could also use normal pencils for this stage, and it's just about deciding, giving it more definition, because by adding water previously you kind of blended it and gave it like a cloudy effect. So what I really like about this one, I think I'm gonna go with the outlines. Gonna add a tail. So you can see now when I'm applying it on top, it's quite visible. I just want to go around the body. I know I will define the nose and eye more. So, you know, if things get too blended, too mixed in your wet stage, do not worry. Okay, so I'm doing the nose. And you can change now, you know, decide you don't want certain patterns, and that's fine. And you can apply your colors on top now. They just won't blend as such. Okay, so I'll be just going back and forth here, trying to establish how I want him to look. And take a photo when I'm done. But what I want you to show here, what I want you to see here as well, it's what you do with the cloudy thing. So this is something where you can again play with color that it's not so dominant, and just get this cloud more visible. Sometimes you go with the color of the cloud. Trying to find something. And that gives you really nice visual effect. And I still need to work on the tail as well. Okay, so that's your dry stage. I'm gonna kind of carry on working on this one, maybe add some patterns. So remember, you can treat your watercolors as normal pencils as well, you know, if you want to, like, for example, have pattern, it's absolutely fine. You can do that. Okay, let me work on that. As you can see, this is all what I'm going to do. Just go with my dry watercolor pencils and emphasize certain colors and add some patterns. And I take the final photo, and I hope you get really cool creatures and enjoy them. The next stage also would be working on this bit here from my first drawing. That's something else I could be working on. Oh, this is how far I've gone so far with this little fellow. And of course, you know, you can add more details, you can add features, and then remember, you also can work on remaining of your initial drawing. So here probably I could add something here, maybe not another creature, but something maybe he's steaming out, or maybe elements of the background, and the cloud. It's quite nice effect if you have watercolor pencils. It looks like your creature is living or coming out of the cloud. So have fun. This is very imagination based activity, very much linked with your own playfulness, and very good for your soul. So have fun. Bye bye.